What was supposed to be a relaxing vacation turned into a nightmare when my husband said, "I sent all your savings to my family's account." His brother laughed and added, "Think of it as your gift to us." I acted like I was going to cry, then smiled and said, "That's funny. I just sent something too." Their phones buzzed. The shock on their faces said everything. I'm a 36-year-old woman, and I've been married to Derek, who's 38, for 6 years. Looking back, I should have seen the warning signs. His family was always around, not to help, but to take. His parents, his older brother Ethan, 40, and Ethan's wife Sophie, 35, acted like Derek owed them everything. And because I was married to him, they thought I did too. They constantly needed money. Ethan's car broke. Sophie had medical bills. Their parents had mortgage problems. And Derek? He always gave them money. I worked as an accountant and I was careful with my money. I saved and planned ahead. I thought Derek respected that. But then I noticed money disappearing from our joint account. It wasn't a huge amount, but it happened often. He always had a reason. Ethan needed help with rent. Mom needed money for groceries. Sophie's car broke again. I told him to stop. He promised he would. But he didn't. So I stopped putting money into our joint account. I moved everything into my personal savings and didn't tell him how much I had. I thought that would protect me. I was wrong. Derek planned a vacation, just the two of us. He paid for the flights, and I booked the resort, Maldives. It was beautiful. The first 2 days were amazing. Then came the third night. We were having a fancy dinner on the beach when Derek took my hands, smiled, and said, "I transferred your savings to my family." I froze. Then Ethan laughed and said, "It's your contribution to us." They were all in on it. Derek, Ethan, Sophie. They thought they had won. Derek added, "Family helps each other." But I wasn't family. I was just their source of money. I acted like I was hurt. I let my hands shake, let a tear fall, and whispered, "Funny. I just transferred something too." Ethan looked confused. Sophie's phone lit up. Then Derek's. They checked their phones, and the smiles disappeared. "What they?" Ethan shouted. Derek pulled out his phone. His face went pale. Sophie gasped. You see, Derek never had access to my savings, but over time, I had quietly learned their passwords, gathered information, and waited. While they were stealing from me, I was taking it all back. I emptied Ethan's accounts. I moved the money from their family trusts. I drained Derek's private account. I even used their money to pay off my mortgage and donate to charities for people who've been financially abused. And just for fun, I downgraded their flight tickets. Their cards didn't work anymore. Ethan lost it. Sophie cried. Derek sat frozen. You stole from me, I said. So I stole from you. Security started coming over because Ethan looked like he might break something. Derek begged, "You love me. You wouldn't do this." I leaned in. You didn't love me. You loved my money. Then I walked away, calm and steady, even though my heart was racing. Derek followed me back to the room and grabbed my arm. Where's the money? He asked, panicked. Gone, I said. You have to fix this. Ethan is freaking out. He's calling the bank, the police. I laughed. You mean the police will want to know how you stole from your wife? And Ethan's tax fraud? Those police? Derek turned pale. He knew I wasn't bluffing. I stepped closer. You thought I'd just cry and do nothing. After 6 years, you still underestimated me. That's when I saw real fear in his eyes. Then he said something that made me pause. Ethan's not just angry. He knows dangerous people. If we don't fix this, it won't be just legal trouble. It could get much worse. For the first time, I hesitated. Ethan had always been shady. I had ignored it before. My stomach twisted in fear. But I didn't let Derek see it. Not my problem, I said, pushing past him into the villa. I locked the door and grabbed my phone. Less than an hour later, I heard shouting outside. It was Ethan and Sophie, her voice high and scared. We have to talk to her. We can't leave like this. I looked through the window. They were pacing back and forth. Ethan looked furious, his face red, his fists clenched. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled something out. I couldn't tell what it was, but Sophie gasped when she saw it. That's when I knew this wasn't just about money anymore. I had to get out of there. I grabbed my suitcase and threw everything inside. Then I called the front desk. Hi, This is room 214. I need a car to the airport. The receptionist hesitated. But ma'am, your stay isn't scheduled to end yet. I don't care. Please, I'll tip double. Right away, ma'am. I let out a shaky breath. I just have to get to the airport, catch the next flight, get home. Then, knock, knock, knock. Loud, harsh, demanding. Open the door. Now. It was Ethan. I backed away from the door. My phone buzzed. A message from Derek. Derek, let them in. We can fix this. Please, baby, we just need to talk. No, absolutely not. I grabbed my bags and rushed to the back door. I opened it, but someone was already there. A tall man, dressed too casually for a fancy resort. He wasn't staff. He didn't look like a guest either. I stepped back. Who are you? He didn't answer, just stared at me. Then he pulled out his phone and made a call. Yeah, she's here. And just like that, I felt cold all over. I slammed the door shut behind me. This wasn't just revenge anymore. This was something darker, something I didn't fully understand. My breathing was fast. My hands shook as I locked the door. This wasn't just a bad vacation. It was dangerous. Who was that man? Ethan had always been shady, but hiring someone, that was a new level. I grabbed my phone and scrolled through my contacts. I needed help. Anyone. Rachel, my best friend. She's a lawyer. She could help. But then I froze. No signal. I ran to the window and checked the Wi-Fi. Nothing. They had cut me off. Then came a knock. And a voice, smooth, calm. You can come out, sweetheart. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. It wasn't Derek. It wasn't Ethan. It was him, the man outside. I backed away. This wasn't just about money anymore. I had underestimated Ethan, badly. I had taken their money, their savings, trust funds, even Derek's account. But there was one account I hadn't touched, Ethan's offshore account. I found it a year ago when Derek left his laptop open. The numbers didn't add up. The bank was in another country. I did some digging. It wasn't just shady, it was criminal. Money laundering. Fraud. Worse. I didn't say anything then. I thought it wasn't my problem. But now? Now I realized just how deep this mess went. I had to get out, but how? Front door, Ethan and Sophie. Back door, mystery man. Phone and Wi-Fi, useless. I took a deep breath. Think. Then I made my choice. I unlocked the door. Ethan was yelling at Sophie when I stepped out. His face turned to rage the second he saw me. Where is the money? He snapped, storming toward me. I raised my hand. You have 5 seconds to listen before I start talking. Talk to who? Ethan sneered. Your phone's useless, sweetheart. I smirked. I recorded everything. That stopped him. Derek went stiff. Sophie turned pale. You're bluffing, Ethan said. I pulled out my phone, opened a recording, and hit play. Derek's voice came out first. I transferred your savings to my family's account. Then Ethan's. Consider it your contribution to us. Silence. I stayed calm. You're going to let me walk out. I'll get on that plane. And if any of you come near me again, this goes straight to the police. Ethan clenched his jaw. Then, out of nowhere, Sophie grabbed me. Fast. Hard. She has more, she said, her nails digging into my skin. Sophie, stop. Derek started. Shut up, Derek, she snapped. And then I saw it. Sophie wasn't angry. She was terrified. More scared than Ethan. That told me everything. As she dragged me toward the beach path, I leaned in. You don't look mad. You look scared. She said nothing. What is Ethan hiding? Who does he owe? She flinched. Bingo. This wasn't just about them. This was about someone else's money. Someone dangerous. Ethan wasn't just broke. He was in debt. Big, scary debt. We reached the parking lot. There was a black car waiting. Leaning against it was the same man from earlier. He was smoking, calm, watching. Sophie swallowed hard. They're already here, aren't they? I asked. She didn't answer. That was all I needed to know. I took a breath. This wasn't just my revenge anymore. Ethan had messed with people worse than me. And now I had 2 options. Run. Or take the biggest risk of my life. Sophie squeezed my arm. You don't want to do this, she whispered. You don't know who you're dealing with. I looked her dead in the eye. Funny, I said. That's exactly what I was thinking. About Ethan. The man flicked his cigarette away and stepped forward. His suit was neat. His eyes were cold. He wasn't just muscle. He was someone important. We had a deal, Ethan, he said, voice calm but sharp. And yet, here I am. Ethan looked pale. Stick. All his fake confidence was gone. Derek grabbed me suddenly, his grip tight. Fix this, he hissed. You started it. You fix it. I pulled away. You stole from me, I said calmly. I just took it back. This is on you. Ethan was sweating. He turned to the man. We can get it, he said quickly. We just need more time. The man took one slow step forward. Ethan, shut up. No more time, the man said. No more lies. Then he looked at me. His eyes scanned me like he was sizing me up. You took their money, didn't you? I smiled. I did. Ethan twitched like he'd been slapped. The man nodded slowly. Then we have a problem. Derek, ever the coward, tried to jump in. Wait, we can work something out, he said, his voice fake sweet. We're all reasonable people, maybe. The man raised his hand. Derek fell silent. Derek, shut up, I said. Then the man turned back to me. Do you have it? He asked. No, I lied. It wasn't a full lie. Most of the money was already moved, hidden, or invested in ways Derek couldn't get to. But I kept a little cash on hand, just in case. The man stared at me, his eyes sharp. Ethan was breathing hard. He knew things were about to get ugly. Then someone has to pay. Then, without warning, the man pulled out a gun and aimed it at Ethan. Sophie screamed. Derek backed away, looking scared. Ethan fell to his knees. Wait, Ethan begged. I didn't move. I should have been scared, maybe I was. But after everything, after being treated like a cash machine by these people, I felt nothing. Please, Ethan sobbed. Please, we can fix this. The man looked at me again. You took their money, he said, but you're not the idiot who lost it. I'm feeling generous. I'll give you a choice. I raised an eyebrow. I can take the money from you, he said, or I can take it from them. Sophie cried harder. Derek went pale. Ethan screamed. Choose, sweetheart, the man said. It's your move. Derek grabbed my arm. You have it, he hissed. Just give it to them. Sophie, crying, clung to my sleeve. Please, he begged. Please, please, please. Then Ethan turned on me. This is your fault, he yelled, furious. You owe us. You married into this family. You don't just get to walk away. That was it. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I laughed. So hard I had to wipe my eyes. You still don't get it, do you? I said, looking at all of them. I don't owe you anything. Sophie cried louder. Derek snapped. Just give it to them, damn it. The gun pressed harder against Ethan's forehead. Last chance, the man said. And that's when I smiled. I don't negotiate with thieves, I said, then turned and walked away. Derek screamed my name. Sophie fell to the ground. I didn't look back. I don't know if Ethan made it out of the parking lot. I didn't care to find out. As soon as I left the resort, I booked a first-class flight home. No connections, straight to my city. By the time I landed, I had blocked all their numbers. Derek, he tried to reach me. Emails, fake social media accounts, even a handwritten letter begging me to fix things. Then the threats came. You'll regret this. I'll ruin you. You have no idea what you've done. And my favorite, I still love you. I sent everything to my lawyer. Derek got charged with fraud. I never heard from Ethan again. Sophie left him and ran back to her parents. As for me, I sat back in my paid-off house, sipping expensive wine, watching Derek's life fall apart. Because karma isn't a bitch. I am.